Hello everyone and welcome back to some more chess. Yesterday we did some puzzles, now we're going to do some rated. Let's move this down a bit. This looks different than I remember. I want to be over here. 10 plus 5. Is this like a new way to make it look? It's strange. Alright, Jim Daddy, let's see what you got. Bringing out the bishop to here so that I can push this pawn and get the other bishop out. Is there any threat? Yeah, there's that. Now that the bishop can escape. Just continuing on with our plan here. My bishop can't really come out here. If I place it there, that blocks queen, but I still have pawn and knight defending, so I don't think it matters too much. And I like this diagonal a lot more than this diagonal. Although that does have check potential. Not sure what I want to do here. I could push the bishop back, start expanding this side maybe. I could push the knight. I don't know, get a few decent ideas. I could push this pawn all the way. No, that just seems kind of dumb. Yeah, let's just push this pawn. Yeah, then that opens up the file for me. Should be very nice. This pawn is very weak now. What is that threatening? I do not know. So let me do a somewhat interesting move here, which is this, because it's doubly defended. Now the knight can't really move. You know what would be a very interesting move would be pushing this knight up, because then if takes, they get a fork. Oh wait, no, that's not a fork. Thonk, what do I want out of this? I think just take the knight. Can't think of anything my queen's guarding. They may not have seen that. I'm not sure why they're playing so quickly. I do have a very interesting move now that my queen is here, which I'm hoping that they don't see. Ah, they saw it. The move, of course, was this, which I still will play. If check, what does that do? I don't think that's very good. Where can I move my bishop now, though? It's sort of penned in. Once I move it back, they have this very aggressive move, but I think I'm okay with that move. Actually, danger levels, if they do that, I can just move my bishop up. Yeah, okay, this isn't too bad of a move then. I still have the check threat. And I also have the very interesting idea of moving queen here and then moving bishop to force check, get rid of the defender. So they get a pawn out of that. I still don't think that's insanely strong for them. To attack the queen. They either move queen or defend with the rook, which are both kind of bad. I have a very aggressive move here, which admittedly they might see. Sort of create a battery here. Ooh, they see it. Alright, now what do I do? I can't just go in and attack here because they have two defenders. I think just move the bishop back. It's a very passive move, but I kind of like it. Yeah. Just move the bishop back. Very safe and boring, but I'm just trying to find a cheesy mate. Alright, so I want to put this rook under attack. Question is, should I? I could go after the undefended pawn here. I don't think I'll move this rook because then that opens up this very real threat. I'll use this rook instead. Alright, danger levels, going after the bishop. It's pretty trapped, but if take... Ooh, if take I have some options. Yeah, I have some options. Oh no, I can't use that diagonal I want to use. What if I just let it and push my rook up? Is that a move? No, let's not move. Let's just screw up the pawn structure. And now I have this move, and then what's next up? Oh, I have two pawns that are free now. Once I do this. Very important that I don't hang the queen there when I have that bishop on the diagonal. See that? Alright, so this is a very interesting move. Because I can just ignore it. That's not really a defender. The important thing is that I don't take this pawn, which is what I immediately wanted to do. What I'm going to do here is a very non-standard move, and it's threatening check up here. Which pawn do I want to take with? I think I want to free my rook. And if they want to take it, then I think I want to keep my bishop active. I have this very nice fork, which they probably see. If they don't see it, I'll be surprised. Alright, they see it. Not sure if there's any way to protect my rook, but I can attack the bishop from here, while also taking a pawn. Alright, so what they're threatening here is a check. What is the best way of dealing with it? I think just stepping out of the way. Yeah. Why not just step out of the way? Now what do you have? I don't have any defenseless pawns. Alright, that lets me get a pawn. I don't see any negatives to that idea. Although I guess the king gets to pop in as a defender. I think I'm okay with that. I just want to push. Actually, this is an idea. Because I have the bishop for backup. Can't just take the easy pawns. Sometimes I gotta think. Pawn push sounds nice right now. They can very close-mindedly chase the rook off with the king. Breaking the rook up. That is very questionable. Because after this move, there are some options I have. Most important thing in this game is just keeping a clear head. Can't defend with bishop because of pawn, so I think I just go back to where I was. And then if I go over here instead, it's not on a light square, and he can't put me in check anymore. So he wants to set up for this. So I think this is where I go on the offensive and start putting in checks. And I also have the option of just dropping the bishop back, which is pretty juicy. If I take with check, that allows bishop there, which is not great news bears. Should I just drop the bishop back? Take the easy out? Sounds like a decent idea. If rook chases, I just move the bishop up. Oh, now they have this move, though. Which is a very interesting move. I think I simply lift the pawn here. Now what do you have to threaten? Now I play this. Now this is a trade that I would actually accept here. Let's see if you will accept it. I can pin the bishop. I think I have to let it go. Oh, or I could check. But then they have a diagonal move, which leaves me in much the same position. Is the pin worthwhile? I can't really see how. I think I just take the pawn. Take the pawn, take the L, try to push as hard as I can. They have to take this pawn, which lets me push this pawn. Oh, they didn't... Huh, that's interesting. I wonder if they saw that pin. They could just chase down this pawn. I don't know if they have time, though. That will evolve before mine. Oh no, they can move the rook down if I chase. And if I chase like that, I also can't follow. I have to go for it, though. Protect. That's your only option, is protect on the E square. Or F1. Okay. That's a good move. Down would screw me. Oh wow, that was not the right move. Alright, well played. I get my queen now, though. See if you can do this, mate. Please move the rook over so I can go left. Move the rook. Look at how much time they're getting back. Winning on time is impossible. Eventually this will be a draw, I think. If they go enough turns without doing it. Like, that has to be a thing, right? I feel like I remember that being a thing. Alright, you're getting it. Yeah. You're almost there. Oh my gosh, if I get stalemate, move the rook up. Move the rook up. Ah, they did it! They did it. They got me with the rook. You know what? I'm proud of him. What a legend. My game was such a ups and downs game. It's nice to be able to look at a board without like used up pieces. I see your knight and I'll raise you a knight. Develop the knight or castle. What do I want here? Let's just develop the bishop, I mean. I don't really have any. No! Fail castle. Tie. What do I do here? I have to push something. I guess I'll push this. Probably don't want to take it with the knight because the knight is so strong where it is. Probably use bishop. I mean, I could use queen. You know, it'd be a very strong move to play, pushing this pawn. Because then the knight becomes a target. I mean, I have to do this, right? I don't know how my knight's gonna get out of this. I could trade it for a bishop, though. Oh, now this pawn is weak. I think I'll use this rook. Is that rook protecting anything? Maybe that pawn on the very end. The bishop moves there, but it's protected by a pawn. The bishop won't move there. You know, it'd be a very nice sequence, them attacking with the pawn first. I think this is the only way of dealing with that threat. Oh, I could just taken. Yeah, because this file isn't great. It would let me kind of double up, maybe. Which could be a decent idea. Yeah, I should taken, because then rook there, knight, switch. Or knight first. What am I saying? I can still put the knight there, though. They're forced into taking it because they don't want to lose their rook, probably. Or they can move the rook, I guess? I'm kind of in mating danger. Don't think too hard about the order of the words that I just said. Please tell me why. My car's in the front yard. And I think this move is decent. It's kind of a double fork if they don't do anything about it. You know what would be a really clever response? Moving the bishop to b5. Oh, they have that also. You know what would be a really good response to this? Moving the c pawn to c3. I'm kidding, that would be a bad idea. Ooh, what is this circumstance? I think the easy solution is to just cover with bishop. Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't do that. That goes there, it's a fork. Okay, that's a bad idea. I could move it there, because this pawn isn't in danger. Hopefully I'm not missing something obvious. But yeah, this trade is bad for them. There's a bug I want to kill, but I'm in the middle of a chess match. All you sinners stand up, sing hallelujah. Kind of want to move my bishop back and be like, oh, I'm tasty bait, but they're probably gonna see through that. Gotta go for it though. You know, you just gotta go for it. Sometimes. Okay, they didn't go for it. Well, it happens. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Probably push a pawn. This seems like a decent one. I don't really like that. It does open up this move. And then take the forkage. Oh, they just take the pawn. Well, that's annoying. Yeah. It's kind of a random square to put it on. I would get forked. No, I wouldn't. The knight is there. Yeah, let's just leave it on a dark square. That was a good idea, though. If I just moved the pawn up, I didn't realize it would be undefended. If I moved the pawn up, it would have been good. Sometimes you just don't see things. Me especially. I think I only have one option here that I can see anyways, which is this. Now the bishop is kind of trapped. I mean, it can go there, but that's a very awkward place to go to. And I can trade for the knight, which... Ooh, that would really hurt you. Actually, yeah, that's the only place you could go. Or you could go there, but then I still take... Yeah, just go to a6. I guess they could take, maybe. This gives me a very interesting move. No, wait, it's not good. It is an interesting move, though, which is knight to here, puts in check, but then they just move the king. Not very good. I think we follow through with the plan. Take that. Alright, they're following through with takes, so I can take this. Now I have two pieces in danger. They're not going to know what to do. Then I offer this trade. Wait, I just got mated. I'm an idiot! No! Alright, do it. I mean, I could have moved a pawn, but why would I move a pawn there? It's such a loss. Oh my gosh. I'm on tilt. I should end it, but I'm gonna play another one. Hold your roll, Speed Racer. Why do people move so fast? Where do I want my bishop? Right there, and I can push the pawn. It's a very safe looking spot. Wow, look at this copycat. Get your own ideas much. Is castling on turn 5 too early? I should look up if Gotham Chess has any vids on it. If I put this here, where do I put my bishop after? I don't know. What if I just did this? What's your answer to that one, Chief? Damn it. It's somewhat undefended. I could push pawn. Sort of end up back where I started, though. I just forked myself. Okay, yeah, I'm on tilt. That bishop is protected if it goes in like that. Well, rip Elo. Don't get how 10 minutes is considered rapid. 10 minutes is a very long time. Is this some ultra big brain play? Where they want to get the queen in there instead? Now that the rook is developed, this is very strong because rook puts in check. Actually, a decent move right now would just be castling. That would be a very interesting response to this. Aha. Now my bishop is still in danger, but I think that's alright. Because they can only take one piece per turn. You know what I think is not a bad move here? This, because it protects... No. That protects, but after takes. Yikes. Drag the bishop back to defend? That doesn't seem very nice. Oh, it's the easy move. It's just this. I either take queen or king here. I think I only have one place to retreat to, which is right back to there. If they slide the rook over, I have an answer, which is advancing the pawn. Oh, they could just take. I didn't see that. The nice thing about, I think I'm playing d1, whatever happens here. It's also an interesting fork. It's defended with pawns, though. I wonder if anyone else has been in this exact position. It's not that deep, just take with the bishop. There we go. Could double up, that would backfire though. You know what would be a very interesting move here would be moving the bishop right there. I think I would still take, and I'd end up with a piece advantage. Would be interesting, though. I could also defend with bishop. Nah, that doesn't work. I agree. Another very interesting move would be bishop right there. I don't think they have any way of putting me in check. The knight's too far. It's definitely interesting that I'm moving one of my two central's pawns on like the 13th move. I want to cover more threats. That's a decent one. Oh. Don't want to play too quickly here. There's a lot going on. I think we just pawn storm, chase the knight. Could retaliate by pushing the pawn of their own. I have more pawns. I was gonna say I have an interesting move of this, but that would leave this pawn unguarded, and then the queen would defend the knight. Don't want to move this pawn, because that opens that up. And if I move this pawn, well, it would open that up. But I think its defensive power is worth, because the knight can't really advance, unless it advances to here, which is very awkward. Now if I can get this pawn move up, the bishop to right there would be a very interesting laser beam. Although this pawn descending would screw it, so that's not good. So they want to set up a battery, eh? You might say this move is bad because knight, but I still have pawn here. This is a calculated sacrifice. Nice. And then I have two options here. Take with pawn or rook. I think the rook is interesting because it threatens bishop take. But the pawn threatens the queen. But the queen has quite a few safe places, doesn't she? Yeah. She has quite a few spots. I don't know, I think this is the more interesting option because it necessitates bishop movement. It also protects against this move, which would attack the rook, as well as taking a pawn. Alright, trying to see through. I can still attack the queen, though. Oh no, that's not very good. Pawn lift, takes. No, that's a check. I think I just move my rook back, and that protects the weak pawns. Both of them, actually. The obvious next step here is just move out a rook to sacrifice. And I would take that trade. Call me crazy. Alright, so I think I don't want that bishop around here anymore. So if I push up, I can move rook there. No, that still just gets taken. Just move that up. Oh, I can't with the king in the way. Well, we can just move the king then. So all that's doing here is just threatening it with another line of defense. So just apply another line of defense. What is this threatening here? It's threatening mate, so I just need to apply another attacker. Could I do this? How stupid would attacking with the king be? not that stupid. It's pretty blocked in. They have this interesting fork, but I don't think they're gonna do anything with it. Alright, if takes, what's the threat? I don't see anything. That was maybe less effort than I should have given, but the queen is super boxed in here. I mean, what's the queen gonna do? Oh, they said oops. Oops indeed. Alright, now it's threatening that diagonal. Which spot is defended on that diagonal? Maybe they want to move the rook next? But remember, they were attacking at one point. And now this move opens up. It's not that scary of a move, I'll admit, but it is a good one. And if queen moves here, I just move it down to defend the pawn. They can't place me in check because the pawn protects the king. Yeah, there's no safe check for them to deliver from here. They might run out of time here. Taking your time can be very good on some occasions. And on other occasions, it's not quite as good. Alright, what is this threatening? A check, maybe? Doesn't seem too scary. Oh, very clever. It's attacking this pawn, actually. Yeah, I'll give you respect for that one. Let's just defend it. I don't care if this pawn gets taken. Just defend it. Take the L. That was a good move. Sometimes you gotta give up a pawn, and it's not the end of the world. Come on, Franklin. Just take the pawn, it threatens the rook. Is that the end? Ooh. Okay. It's an interesting idea. I think I would just take here. Yeah. I would just take. I can't move king up to protect pawn. What if I simply sacrifice the queen? No. The check that they want to give is right there. Oh no, if I defend that check, I lose on this check. So I need to be able to defend both spots, and the place I can do that is right there. Because of this move. Alright, that was a very sudden forfeit. I will give you a follow. That was a good match. Alright, last game of the day. I'll look at the analysis board. But first I'll see if they have anything to say about that. That was a very interesting game for sure. Shame about running out of time, but that's alright. Was I white or black? I was white, okay. So this is a inaccuracy. Why is c4 better? I guess because the knight locks in the pawn. It's interesting. Why does it say dots? Does dots just mean that it doesn't have any thoughts on it? Alright, I'm gonna stop paying attention to Stockfish server analysis. Ooh, look at that advantage spike after I took the rook. Wow, black had advantage for a majority of that game, which I wasn't really expecting. See, standard, the early castle I was a little bit concerned about. I wasn't sure what to make of this move. Seemed like set up for something. And then this is the major mistake I made, which was allowing myself to get forked by the bishop. Luckily they didn't see it. Yeah, you can see that it's freaking out. So what would have been a better move here? To address it. Moving out the queen? Honestly, I know people in the comments are going to be like, this is way an inaccuracy, but trading the rook for 2 pieces I think is worthwhile. But yeah, this going back was... You can see the computer hates all of this. Going back was interesting. Oh, it wants to set up for the fork. That's really clever. That's a really clever fork. This layout is such a tangle. Look at that. We have like 6 pieces and 9 squares. That was quite the game. 1 inaccuracy, 1 mistake, and 5 blunders. Learn from your mistakes. Alright, let's see. Actually, I should finish analyzing first. So that's a blunder because you have the fork, they castle. I assume they don't like this. Yeah, why did they castle here instead of taking a piece? There were 2 open pieces, this and this. But by not taking them... Oh, because the knight is protected and it would allow early rook getting introduced to the game. They don't like this capture. Oh, they say that's a mistake, straight up. Yeah, the white squared bishop would have done some cool stuff this game because it has that forced check set up. The take, it just seems to see as necessary, I think, there. And then I get this move, which had Franklin thinking for a long time. Look at the time, 40 seconds. That's... I don't know if that's too much time to spend. There were two options there. Yeah, that is too much time to spend for two options. Move king or capture, which gets my rook all up in your face. Okay, why does it like this? What? What is the point of this? You just lose knight. Oh, you don't lose knight. Oh, you don't lose knight. So, it wants this. And then after this, what would you do? Maybe one of these? And then they would do this. And then what? Take the bishop, because they still can't take. That's technically a safe spot. Maybe at this point they get tired of the thingy there. And they do this. So we try to defend. Wait, I'm making inaccuracies in this. I just do that. They take. Now we got this open file to worry about. I attack. They go here. Oh, that's actually a very clever fork. To which I go over here. And then they take my queen. Alright, yeah, that's a good variation, computer. I like it how these are all like, that's just 4 straight moves of pure hatred from the computer. You gotta love it. Alright, so that's considered a blunder, not going for the queen there. I guess... What's the... You do that, and then they're forced to take it like that. I don't know. Could also try for something cheesy, like put it there. No, that doesn't work. Alright, after I take, computer gets very confused. And then even trade, I move... Why is this bad? That's literally the only place it could go. Threaten their knight. Oh, because it's developing a piece. Developing a piece is better than saving something that probably can't be saved. Wow! Okay, it hates that recapture. Now it hates this move? What? Oh my gosh. So the reason moving the knight here is a blunder is because bishop takes, which I also didn't see in the game, which is a sign of maybe how tilted I am. Oh, it attacks 2 pieces. It attacks 2 pieces here. So even if the knight runs off, like, I don't know. Let's put him there. Takes, takes, takes. Yeah, all that would happen exactly like that, I'm sure. Alright, so takes is a blunder. Because when the queen moves there, it's on this diagonal. Which is important because the knight can't escape. And that's somehow better than just taking it? I am so lost. Why would you not take here? Alright, I might need like a pro to look over my games for me. Alright, this is pretty standard fare. Now the endgame for this I found to be very interesting. Queen comes down, attacking this pawn, so I defend it. Wait, I didn't defend it. They could have just taken that. What? Wait, they could have just taken that pawn there. What were we doing, man? This is where I noticed, by the way, that this pawn was hanging. What? Okay. Set up a battery for the queen here. I move the king Y. Because this was scary in the future. I see. Add an extra line of defense because the bishop and queen are both hitting. This I remember. And this uneasy stalemate with the pawn as the divider is just keeping things going. I push on this side to try to attack the bishop. I move the king because I see what move? Because I see this move, which would be checkmate. Wait, no, it wouldn't have been. What? Wait. Why did I think that was checkmate? I have the rook there. Yeah, that move doesn't threaten anything. What? The only way it would threaten is if it could somehow get on the same diagonal as the queen, and then the queen comes in right here. But that's not possible. So that was just me being scared. This was a blunder. You know, because they said oops. It did have me guessing, though. I was like... Alright, bishop can't go there, there, or there. They're all defended. Can't go there. So it only is this move, which would take, or this move. That's literally, the bishop had one square to move. And just couldn't be seeing it. After it takes, it wants queen there, which I think it went. Oh, look at that, that's... Yeah, that's hatred. I was thinking that too. What is this diagonal? Because there's no light squared bishop anymore. It hasn't been for like a year. Now this, I think, was a mistake that I made. Now it goes where they wanted it to go to defend this pawn, while also attacking this, and also attacking this, which is what I was scared about. Because after rook takes, I am in check, and if I either have to move or not take. This was an extremely terrifying position, because this pawn became the most important pawn in the world. Absolutely enthralling how Black managed to almost make a comeback there after fumbling, I think, the bishop. And then after this was sort of just... I think maybe stalling for time. I don't know. Well, it trades my active bishop for this bishop that's kind of stuck. But the kind of stuck bishop is providing backup. Alright, so it likes taking this pawn with not the queen. Now this the computer hates, because the computer likes it when the enemy has all their rooks. And after that, it's a resignation. So in the end, what settled this were three moments. The first one, this bishop take, The second one being this rook take here, because they didn't adjust their plan when I moved my queen up to protect. And the final one was right here. Right here, not doing this. This move is terrifying and it loses a bishop. But I think what had happened was just fear over the knight. But the thing that matters is that I saw this. And if I saw this from the enemy team, I should be able to see forks for myself. Let's go over my mistakes. This move, find a better move for white. I honestly think this move, although it's not the greatest, it has a few purposes. This move is also very interesting. It's considered a good move. It sort of cuts off the knight threat for a bit. And after it takes, I can slide the rook over. Ooh, that's a pin, actually. Okay. So that is a bit stronger than I would have expected. Let's see. Knight x e3, e5. Find a better move for white. Well, let's see. The bishop is in trouble. I wouldn't want to take that piece with the rook because losing rooks is not good. I don't really want to move my knight. Although this is a move, I think. I don't know how great a move. I think the very simple move this pawn up. You can do better. Move bishop back. Actually, yeah, moving bishop back would prevent this pawn push because takes, you're in check. Yeah, after you're in check, you're kind of screwed there. Interesting, doesn't like that as well. Just seeing that, and then they play this. To which I take this. Look at that, it switched around. Okay, find a better move for white than takes. With the knight. The knight isn't in danger. The knight is not in danger. Because of the bishop protecting it. Not bishop. Pushing there protects the bishop. And that knight is still protected by the rook. That seems like a solid move. There's no way it's this. That's so weak. What? Alright, this computer is dumb. Why is this a good move? After this, they're in such a nice position. You just fork yourself? Alright, find a better move for white. Bring queen out, maybe? What can I attack? I can attack the bishop. Alright, they like that move. Interesting. Alright, trying to escape with the knight is not so good. The better move is to attack. Attack what? Attack the knight with the queen or the pawn? I say pawn. Alright, they like it. Pushing the pawn here is not well liked. What might be better liked would be putting the queen out somewhere aggressive. Alright, let's look at black mistakes. Okay, first mistake was taking this pawn. Why is that a mistake? Because your knight gets trapped, probably. So what is a better move? I do not like that. Okay, it's easy. You just support your own pawn. They don't like this because then you have that. Whereas this sort of cements your pawn and bishop, as well as allowing the light-squared bishop to escape. So it has... that actually has a lot of options. Alright, knight d6 was played. Find a better solution. The fork. Oh my gosh, it doesn't like the fork. What? I am so lost, it doesn't like the fork. Support the horsey? No. Attack their thing, maybe? No, it's bad. I can't believe it doesn't like that. What do you like? Taking with the horsey? You don't even get a piece out of that. You just spook the queen. I guess it's just what it's threatening. Maybe it likes long-term pressure over short-term. But I feel like there's no way that's correct. Alright, taking with bishop is bad. Find the better move. Take with queen. Where is your horsey gonna go? I don't know. It can't just be throwing a piece away. What about just advancement? Why is that? Why is that good? Why would you not just... Okay, you know what? I don't know if I trust the computer after this one. I think I would just take it back to safety, like I said earlier. This is actually a very interesting problem. I think offer up the queen trade. Interesting. I feel like that queen trade is quite good for me. Right, just takes... Okay. Yeah, takes there is a decent move. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather take it with the queen, though. But if you take it with the pawn, they still can't take it. You have the check lined up for the pawn. Actually, you have a very interesting sequence here where you move the queen there, and then when they move their queen there, you can go there and fork the king and the pawn. But you still only have one line of attack on the pawn. I would move the rook behind. In any case, interesting game. I spent 46 minutes analyzing it, apparently, because I don't trust computers. If you enjoy this extra long episode of Lit Chess, leave a like, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.